What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hands-On channel. I wanted to make a quick video here before I get all hot and sweaty. I'm actually fixing to mow. You can see I've got my regular riding lawnmower there in the trailer, getting ready to unload that and do a little bit of mowing over in this field over here. Try to get that knocked out as best I can. But I wanted to show you guys around here at my ever-growing mountain of junk back here. And as you can see, it's quite a lot. I'm having to hide behind the truck here because it's a little windy today, and the GoPro does not deal with wind very well. At least not the way I've got mine configured. But yeah, this trailer here, this old junky looking trailer, I actually brought this over so that I could yard out a lot of this junk up here out in the distance. Hopefully that's picking that up well enough. We've got a bunch of random cinder blocks, a bunch of stuff like that. But anyways, we're working away and getting it out of the field so that we can mow, but that's not what this video is about. This video is going to be about trespassing and private property because I've already had my first issue here at this property. We've only owned it for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, and we've already had someone come in here and violate our directives. I basically talked to this gentleman. I'll just back you up real quick. I was over here one day, and it was the first time I actually got to get my father-in-law and my mother-in-law over here, and I had another job to go do, so I was out in the city and I tried to rush out here. I actually had to help out a buddy of mine who recently, he's had a stomach problem, a lower intestine problem, and so he's been laid up, and I needed to go over there and bury a fox for him. So I went and did that, and I came out here and I just barely got to kind of talk to my father-in-law and my mother-in-law for a few minutes. And I wanted to talk to my father-in-law about his tractor and the different things that I'm going to be trying to do with it over here. I'm going to need to do with it, and if he was okay with that, because he's got a really nice John Deere, I believe it's a 3032. It's not a very big tractor, but it's definitely bigger than a shovel and a wheelbarrow. So I need to get that over here and start doing some preliminary work here, just some minor dirt work to try to redirect some of the flows and stuff. Well, anyways, I didn't get to talk to him about any of that stuff because all of a sudden I see a white Dodge truck slow rolling by, and I'm like, who's this guy? He's looking in here and stuff. Well, a little while later he comes pulling up and he says, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and say his name, because this whole, I usually don't name names because, you know, out of respect for people, but since this person completely disrespected my orders and my directives as it pertained to what we needed to do to proceed forward, I don't care. His name is Leroy. He shows up in a white Dodge truck. He says, my name's Leroy, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, at first it was cordial and nice, and he was being friendly and everything. But then suddenly, and he was still trying to be friendly, but he was like, well, you know, I've got 2 deer stands back there. And I said, what are you talking about? My deer stands, the ones that I bought with this property? Because that was, you know, I took the junk, the bad junk, and a few good things that were scattered about. I had no idea Leroy was even in the picture. And Leroy starts telling me, oh, well, Tim said I could put a couple deer stands back there about 2 or 3 years ago and blah, blah, blah. And I need to come and get them back since they sold the place and all this. I'm like, well, yeah, sir, but the place was sold long ago. And you should have really come over here and got them back before they ever even listed this place for sale. Before they ever even, definitely before they showed the property. Or the realtor should have excluded those and said, well, hey, those belong to someone else. But see, the deal is no one knew about that because Tim is the property owner's like grandson or something like that, or stepson or something. I don't know. But the original property owner that I bought the place off of is an older lady, and her name is obviously not Tim. And I said, sir, I don't know anyone named Tim. We're going to have to talk to the original property owner about this, the older lady, and find out what she knows about this. And, you know, and I basically, my wife, she's so good, man. She's always on the spot. So she has a laminated card already printed up with all of our phone numbers on there, our contact information. So I said, hey, can you grab that laminated card and we'll, you know, give this guy our contacts. Well, meanwhile, it was creating an awkward situation. So my father-in-law and mother-in-law went ahead and split. So now he's run off my company. Maybe he didn't mean to do that, but I don't know, guys. You tell me. I bought the property. Whenever I came out and looked at it, it had 2 deer stands out on it, and I was like, oh boy, cool, 2 deer stands I'm going to get to use. And the realtor and no one else said anything about any deer stands belonging to this guy Leroy, and he was going to come and get them. So Well, here's what happened. Basically, I give Leroy the card and I say, hey, Leroy, you're not allowed to come on here. No one's allowed to come onto this property because we have posted it private property. I doubt you can see them, but out here I've put private property signs on the gates and along the fence. So this is the roadside out here behind that trailer and stuff like that. So I've put private property signs all along the road and on the fence and everything, right? So I come out here like a day or two later, and I haven't even had a chance to talk with the original property owner yet, or the title company, because I wanted to call both of those places before I contacted Leroy or before he contacted me, because my directive to him was, do not come on this property without calling me first. You have no permission to be on this property. Here's my number, call me. So a few days later, my wife and I come out here, and for the first time I bring the Bombardier out here. So I was really excited to have my four-wheeler out here, and I was going to be able to access the back parts of the property and stuff that I have, that's where the deer stands are. So I grabbed the wife, I'm like, jump on, let's go back and check out the back part of the property. And wouldn't you know, there's dually tire tracks down there on my field. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I keep going around, and sure enough, both of my deer stands are gone. So this guy basically came over here, or had someone come over here with him the very next day after he saw that I was like being resistant, and he stole from me, or at least that's the way I'm looking at it. So my wife contacted the sheriff and talked to him a little bit. We didn't file any reports or anything like that because it wouldn't have done us any good. Basically the sheriff told us that they have to, either I have to with cameras, or they have to catch them in the act trespassing for it to be anything that I can, press charges about or do anything about. So basically all I could do was call up Leroy because I got his number, and I called him up and, I bitched him out. I was like, hey man, what are you doing? This is my property. Do you have some problem with boundaries or something? Do you not understand that that's your land over there on the other side of the road and around the corner, and this is my land over here, and you're not welcome here, not without my permission? And apparently he doesn't understand that, because him and his buddy came over here and essentially took those deer stands. Now again, the sheriff told us, oh, you could take him to small claims court or something like that, but I'm not going to do that, because for one thing, it's like maybe $300 worth of material. So I don't know, it just makes me madder than hell that somebody would do that. So we've been going around and we keep the gate closed, we keep everything as locked down as we can, but we've got some places over here, this road out front that I mentioned in another video. I'm going to have to get rid of that road because it connects to the other existing, or the previous owners over here. They kept like 16 acres and I bought all the rest. Well, this road used to be their access road to this part of the property, and it's just acting as a gutter right now and running all this water down here on me. So I need to go ahead and cut that off way back up there. And there's a fence supposed to be constructed, and it even was in our contract that it had to be done within a certain amount of time. But it's not looking like that's going to get done. So we're going to have maybe another issue coming up, because I want their 16 acres fenced off from mine, so that there's no denying that this is my property and that is their property. That's the whole point of that. And I want to be a good neighbor and stuff, but as it turns out, Tim, the guy that Leroy had the original deal with, was supposedly the one that came over here with him and took the deer stands down. And both of those guys were saying, oh yeah, well, I didn't talk to Tim yet, but Leroy was saying, oh well, Tim said he called you and talked to you. And I said, bullshit, that didn't happen. And I said, not only that, sir, I directly told you to your face, man to man, and I said, do not come on this property without calling me first and making arrangements with me. And he didn't do that, so he violated me right away. So that's pissing me off and worrying me a little bit about what kind of neighbors I got around here. I don't know what the hell this is. A lot of these people have, you can clearly see, you can clearly see from this trash back here behind me. I mean, this shit was scattered all around the property. So a lot of these people out here are living like gypsies. They don't take their trash out. They're basically living in their mom's basement, but their mom don't have a basement. She has, land. So they're living off the mom's land. And I'm a little bit worried about that, because we're seeing some signs around here. I found tons and tons of perfectly good tools of all different kinds, craftsman tools, air tools, just different stuff that kind of is making us start to wonder if these people weren't stealing stuff. And I don't know, either that or they were just, I can't imagine You guys know that you guys that know me know how much I love my tools, and I try to take care of them and stuff, and I can't imagine throwing them in the yard and letting dirt pile up over them until they rust almost away. So I'll show you guys some of the tools probably in an upcoming video. I'm going to try to restore a few of them, but some of them are just so beyond repair because, you know, you can't just throw something down in the dirt and expect it to be there 20 years when you need that 10 millimeter or whatever it is. And I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with people that do this, you know? So I don't know, guys. It's some sort of a weird sign of, definitely, it's kind of like hoarding. It's sort of a sign of some sort of a, you know, mental issue of some kind. I don't really want to, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so I can't say exactly what it is, but it's in the hoarding family. And so, yeah, I'm going to have more work cut out for me, it sounds like. I'm going to have to come in here and go around and piss on all my posts, I guess, and make sure and let everybody know that, hey, this is my land over here. I ain't Woody Guthrie. I ain't no fucking communist. This is my land. This ain't your land. Go get your own land. Don't come and try to tread on mine. So, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Sorry the video is a little salty and I'm a little agitated, but let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Am I wrong? Because he put those on there and waited until after I bought the property and all this stuff, I mean, should I still have to give him that stuff? Or should he have to provide some sort of proof for one thing that was his? And shouldn't I be hearing that from the previous owners, not from Leroy, some random stranger that I've never met until that day? And then I found out he's a fucking thief. So, all right, guys, wish me luck. Until then, we'll see you next time.